And our keys to the game for the Northland Pioneers, hang on to the football. That's the biggest one. When they lost their final game of the regular season, they had 6 turnovers. Ball control and taking care of the ball, the biggest key today for the Northland Pioneers. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get ready to put this one in the air on 1230 KTRF. The Northland Pioneers will receive to start the football game. Our opening kickoff brought to you by the Puck on Third in Thief River Falls. Don't forget at the Puck on Third, they have a daily buffet at 11 o'clock. Sundays it starts at 10. Friday nights now 5 to 8 on the buffet. And coming up this next Friday night, the Cajun buffet for you. If you like Southern food, Cajun food out of the New Orleans, Louisiana area, stop in and check it out on Friday night.
Okay,
at
so
the Puck on Third in Thief River Falls. Puck on Third, home of the sweet chili chicken pizza. You'll love it. Set and ready to kick it off here this afternoon.
Yes,
is Caleb Tinklenberg. Tinklenberg will put the boots to it, and we're about ready to get things underway between the Northland Pioneers and Minnesota West. Tinklenberg, deep line drive, kickoff will sail down. The Pioneers will take it at the 15, 20, 25-yard line, up the gut to the 30, and stacked up there. First and 10, Northland at their own 30-yard line on the return, and that's where we'll get underway this afternoon. Lindley in on the tackle. Pioneers will bring it out. Wells will bring his team to the line of scrimmage, and they'll line up right on the football. Wells single set back into backfield, twins to each side to start the contest. First and 10 at the 30-yard line on the first offensive play. Wells awaits the snap, gets it, turns. Straight handoff here. Pioneer's going to run a draw play to open the game. Spun around and taken down, but not until he picks up about 7 yards on the play that time. Here's Tyrell Harris. Harris will pick up about 7. It'll be second down and 3. Laveau on the tackle. Second down and 3 here for Northland, just underway this afternoon. Movement up front, the defensive line flagged out. Wells knew it. He's got a free play. He rolls to his left. He's going to tuck it away and take off with it. He'll have first down yardage as he steps out of bounds at about the 41, but the 5-yard gain is more than that. So I think they'll take the penalty and negate Wells' run. We'll see. The gain was 4 on the run. It'll be 5 on the penalty. I think the Pioneers will take the penalty. And they will march it off against Minnesota West. Well, no, now they say decline. Well, the referee signaled decline, but the linesman marked off the 5. Now it should be 4 back to the 41. So the Pioneers will decline it and take the 4-yard gain by Wells. First and 10 for the Pioneers at their own 41-yard line. Wells again offset by Harris on the right-hand side this time. Take the Harris, take the quick out. Now Wells going to pull it down and run with himself. Wells with running room gets a block on the corner, turns upfield, then taken out of bounds and taken tackled well out of bounds, and there's the flag. One official wasn't going to float through it, the other official did, as the tackle took place well out of bounds. Wells will gain from the 41-yard line down to the 44. They pick up 9 to midfield and 6 on the other side of that. The gain is 15 and then tack on the penalty. And a personal foul for tackling out of bounds. That'll spot the ball at the 29. 19 yards for Wells. The ball at the 29-yard line of Minnesota West. First and 10 Pioneers. Wells out of that pistol again. Play action, going to throw the ball this time. Incomplete. Even out of the hands of the intended receiver, Devonair Clarington. Ball hit him in the worst spot, right in the hands. The incompletion will bring up second and 10. Wells flanked by Harris on the left side this time. Wells awaits the snap. Now Harris goes to his right. Defensive line adjusts and flags down here. Procedure on the Pioneers. All the moving around. Pioneers stepping back 5. It'll be second and 15 now. Second and 15. Pioneers will send trips to the right-hand side this time. Single receiver left. On second and 15 here, back at the Minnesota West 34. Pioneers had moved it crisply down the field prior to that penalty. Wells, straight drop, wants to throw the football. Looking down the field, now he'll tuck it away, rolls to his left, got short running room before stepping out of bounds. And he may have actually lost 2 yards on the play. He did. Wells will lose 2 yards on the play. It'll be third down and 17. Third and 17, back to the 36-yard line now. Sixth play of this possession for the Pioneers has started in their own 30. They moved crisply and now have stalled after an illegal motion penalty. Twins to each side this time. Long count, Wells straight back, has time. Now under pressure, steps up, throws the football, delivers high, but it's caught. Receiver avoids one tackle, now avoids the second, now breaks the third, steps inside the 20, will have first down yardage all the way down to the 14. Grant with a nice gain all the way down to the 15-yard line. And first and 10 Pioneers, their third. They were at the 36 and all the way down to the 14. The gain is 22. Wells to throw again. Looking to his left, rolls there, now going to tuck it away, picks up a block. Wells will step out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He'll pick up 2 or 3 down to about the 11. Give him 3 on a play. He's got 20 yards now in the game. In the rushing department. Second down for the Pioneers. Change here for Northland. Yeah, second and 8 coming, almost 7. Grant leaves and Rusey comes into the game. Twins to each side again. Wells out of that pistol, flanked on the left by Harris. Long count here, gets a snap. Looking to his right all the way, throws a fade to the end zone, and overthrows the intended receiver, incomplete. Third down play coming. Ball at about the 11. Needs to get to around the 4 for first down. Certainly 4-down territory for the Pioneers unless they elect to take the 3. Twins receivers in stacked formation on either side this time. Harris will flank Wells on the right-hand side. Big third down play here. Now Harris shifts to the left. Wells off the snap. Quarterback draw, going to go straight ahead himself, but stacked up for little or no gain on the play, as he was collapsed by one of the defensive linemen. No gain, nice play defensively that time by Brandon Vashti. 4th down and 7 here in the market. Corner of 8th and Main. Fever revolves back in a moment.
I'd like to remind you that the Northland Event Center is being tapped on located also concession stands are open after it's not located in the next building.
First and goal for the Pioneers on the 11th play of the drive that started at their own 30. That after an early Earls market timeout. Wells will go under center for the first time today on first and goal. He puts his head down trying to go straight ahead, but we have flags down, and now it's going to be first and goal from the 6. That'll be procedure. Somebody jumped the gun. So that'll set him back and make it first and goal at the 6-yard line.
Most drivers have been held on the Pioneers.
Second penalty of the drive on Northland.
First and goal from the 6.
Twin receivers to each side this time. First and goal at the 6-yard line. All kinds of movement on the defense this time. Wells with a free play. Swings it out here for Harris. It's incomplete, but it won't matter. This should be offsides on the defense and put the 5 yards back again. It is offside on the defense. That'll be 5 yards for the second penalty assessed on Minnesota West for a total of 20 yards in the game. And make it first and goal in the 5. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back for both teams here at the 1-yard line. Actually, it'll be half the distance to the goal. At the 3-yard line. Wells to throw again. Looking for Devonair Clarington, fires a strike for the touchdown. Devonair Clarington will catch it for the touchdown. 35 yards in passing for Wells, and the Pioneers on the board here on the 12th play. As they result in an opening drive, 12 plays, 70 yards for the score. Here in the first. 10:48 remaining to play in the opening quarter. Pioneers have burst on top. And now the extra point attempt. Pioneers will go for 2. Wells with spread offense again. Takes the handoff. Now wants to throw, now in trouble, picks up a block. Tries to get to the outside, picks up a second block, and scampers into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Wells for the 2-point conversion. The Pioneers add that, lead it 8-0. 10:48 to play in the opening quarter. 8-0 Northland, Minnesota West to get the football for the first time when we return on 12:30 KTRL.
Number 31, Johnson Jones.
Johnson Jones with the kickoff fielded by Minnesota West, who breaks the tackle and starts upfield. This is Blaze Williams. Williams will cross midfield and into Pioneer territory. This has been a bugaboo for the Pioneers all year. They make a nice touchdown drive and they give the ball right back in good field position. Minnesota West will be at the Northland 46-yard line to start this drive. So a short field for Minnesota West. And they'll quickly come to the line of scrimmage as well with Caleb Tinklenberg, their quarterback. Tinklenberg out of that shotgun, two twins to each side, single back in the backfield with him. Tinklenberg turns, hands off first back. Pioneers will stack that up and stack it up quickly. Derek Gardner trying to run with the football. And he'll lose a yard, maybe two on the play. He'll be second down. Loss of one will bring up second down and 11. McCaddy on the tackle for the Pioneers. Second and 11 here, twins each side again. Play action pass, wants to throw the football. Tinklenberg across the middle, broken up and incomplete. Very nice defensive play that time. Timed it well to David Bordas. The incompletion will bring up third down and 11. Third and 11 here. Pioneers will make a change in their defensive front. McCaddy, who made the play early, he's a Pioneer run stopper, will be exchanged for another linebacker. As the Pioneers will play coverage here. Twins to each side. Tinklenberg out of the gun. He wants to throw the football. Pumps once, pumps twice, swings it out to his back out of the backfield. It's caught, but will be short of the first down. Now let's see if they'll go for it on fourth in Pioneer territory. Gardner will make the catch. It was third and 11. It's going to be fourth down here in about 3. So the gain is 8. David Bordas again on the tackle. Fourth down and about 3, and Minnesota West lines up to go. Now remember, Tinklenberg is their punter as well. Big fourth down here at the Pioneer 38-yard line. Wanting to throw the football, Tinklenberg rolling out, swings out complete. And I think that'll be enough for the first down. The spot of the football will be a key, but it is across the 35-yard line. Pick up his 4 in first down. First and 10 for Minnesota West as they survive on a key fourth down play. Actually, the game was fine.
First and 10 for Minnesota West. At the Northland 33.
At the 33-yard line. Tinklenberg again he'll hand off. First back trying to dive his way up the middle. Gardner going a little nowhere again, maybe a yard. Pioneers have done a good job stuffing the run so far. Two rushing plays for 0 yardage. And it'll be second down and 9. Second and 9 here. Twins each side again. Snap of the football, looking to throw it. Tinklenberg pumps once, pumps twice, goes across the middle, picked off. Picked off by the Northland Pioneers. This is Tristan Murrin. Murrin starts upfield, picks up a couple of blockers, breaks a tackle, crosses midfield, and drives his way down inside the 45-yard line before being taken out of bounds on a play. The interception by the Pioneers, the first turnover of the ball game, a big one, as Murrin picks it off. And the Pioneers with the big pick force an early turnover. Pioneers will start first and 10 at the Minnesota West 44-yard line after the interception. The Pioneers already successful on their opening drive, now force a turnover, and will try and take a quick two-score lead in this one. 8:11 still to play in the opening quarter. Wells stacked behind him in the gun this time. Single setback, twins to both sides. Straight handoff here in the draw play. Pioneers will cut it to the outside. This is Cullen St. Julian. St. Julian with big yardage down the sidelines. The Pioneers have a big lineman down on the play, getting him slowly. St. Julian with a big gain, but the Pioneers' Thomas O'Malley down on the play. I think it's O'Malley. And there is a flag down as well. Flag down beyond the first down marker. Let's see what the flag is for. St. Julian made a nice run. You're going to call holding on the Pioneers. This will negate a very nice run by St. Julian. It's beyond the first down marker. So St. Julian will get a gain of 11 before the penalty, and now the Pioneers working on an injured player. Looks like an ankle for the offensive lineman, and we have an Earls Market timeout. Earls Market timeout for an injury. The Pioneers did not need another injury in their offensive line. We'll take a break back in a moment on 12:30 KTRF as Northland leads it 8-0 early on.
Northland Foundation, Northern State Bank, Sports Boosters, the Beaver Falls, and also Beaver Falls Radio. Injured player will be by number 75, Thomas O'Malley.
Well, Thomas O'Malley being assisted off the field, but is able to put weight on that right ankle. So that's a good sign. Maybe we'll see him back before it's all said and done as they'll bring him over the training table on the sidelines. So Pioneers back at first and 10 again. It'll negate the gain all completely on the 10-yard penalty for holding. So the holding penalty will negate a nice run by St. Julian, who will stack it in the backfield again behind Wells here. And Wells will go under center this time. Wells under center, twins to each side. Wells hands off St. Julian, tries to sweep the left side, stacked up, taken down, and a flag coming in here for a face mask. You can see that one clearly. Question is it 5 or 15?
Still here.
Personal foul, face mask. That's the 15-yard variety.
Did you hear me?
So that'll give the Pioneers another first down, 35 yards of penalties now on Minnesota West. You could clearly see the tackler put the ball right up in St. Julian's face mask. That'll take the ball all the way down to the 31-yard line. 7:34 to play here in the opening quarter. Northland already up 8-0. forced to take another Earls Market timeout to avoid delay of
You
game.
texting him.
Second timeout in the opening quarter for the Pioneers. They lead at 8-0. Timeout by Earls Market. 24-hour pay at the pump gas. Great food in the warmer too at Earls Market. Back in a moment.
When was the last time you texted him? Oh. I was texting him
You guys
before.
watching the paint job, or the tape job they're putting on O'Malley's ankle down here? I'm not sure he's gonna be able to move his ankle when they finish. It looks like they're putting a cast on him.
Yeah.
Look at the trainer down there. He's strapping him up something fierce. He'll play again, but he's not gonna be able to move very much.
I'll text you later.
Looks like my ankle. Okay, bye bye.
Bye, love you.
Love you too, bye.
All the timeout, second and 10 for the Pioneers. All is empty, Minnesota West, 31.
Second Earls Market timeout for the Pioneers. Out of it, they'll run draw play. Nicely spelled down by Minnesota West. And Yuri going nowhere.
Number 13, Bo Lincoln.
In fact, Yuri will lose about 3 on the play.
On the run.
It'll be third down and 13.
13.
The ball back at the 34-yard line. Now Pioneers took over at the 44 after an interception. Trying to turn the turnover into points. West showing blitz here. Looking up the football field. Oh, huge holding. How did they not call that? Clarington had a step, and the defensive back had a whole handful of his jersey. You can see the jersey stretch about 4 or 5 inches. And no call on the play. They simply rule it incomplete. An absolutely terrible missed holding call. Pioneers are going to go here on 4th down and long. Clarington was open. The defender had a whole handful of him. Looking down the middle of the football field this time. Complete for a touchdown. Dylan Lee. 34 yards on the touchdown to Dylan Lee. Straight down the seam. And the Pioneers convert on a 4th down play for a first down and touchdown. 5 plays to go 44 yards after all the penalties. And Northland will go for 2. They take that back. They're going to line up and try an extra point now. Pioneers don't want to have to give up a 3rd time out here in the opening quarter. They're going to have to hustle. They're going to get the lay a game on the extra point. 6:31 left to play here in the opening quarter. Kick is up. And the kick is no good. Wide left. So the extra point attempt fails. It is 6:31 to play in the opening quarter. Northland leading at 14-0 on 12:30 KTRF.
Northland Pioneers 14 and Minnesota West nothing.
I'd like to show a replay of the pass before the touchdown to Kevin Kuznian. He must have stretched his jersey about 2.5 feet.
We were talking about that.
Johnson Jones took the ball away for Northland.
Reggie Colson on the return of the kick, tackled by the Northland Pioneers, David Bordas. It'll be 1st and 10, Minnesota West on their second possession at their own 37-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 37 for Minnesota West. Northland up 14-0. Tinklenberg to the line again, back in that pistol formation. Twins to each side. He wants to throw on first down. He'll swing it out of the backfield here, complete to his big tight end Linder. And Linder with a short gain might have gotten to the 40. He'll get 4.
Number 82, Tyler Linder.
17 yards for Tinklenberg now in completions. And second down. Actually, they're going to give him 3 on the play. Second and 7. Tinklenberg to throw again. Pumps once, looks left. Now in trouble, wrapped up, gets away. Rolling to his right now, being pressured there by McCaddy. And then pushed out of bounds on a play by the Pioneers and eat it on his way out of bounds by Simeus Rockley. Tinklenberg will get back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. He actually will lose a yard on the play. And it'll be third down.
Also 1 yard on the run.
Third down and 8 back at the 39-yard line. Pioneers will make a defensive change here and send into the game Mike Collins. Twins to each side this time. Colson out wide to the left. Tinklenberg looking for Colson. Pumps again. Now across the middle. It's popped up in the air and incomplete. And defended by Mirren in the middle. It'll be fourth down and long. And the punting unit comes on, but it's not Tinklenberg. See who's going to step back and punt it here for Minnesota West. It looks like Trayvon Wilkerson. Wilkerson set the punt away. Tinklenberg punted the last time these two teams played. Snap is good. Wilkerson line drive kick. It'll take a couple of hops, picked up by St. Julian. He grabs the block, turns the corner, gets up the football field, tightropes the sidelines, and a flag down from Spear across the football field late as St. Julian takes it to the 47. And a late flag from all the way across the field. It'll be on the Pioneers. So that'll set back the start of this drive. Ten yards on the penalty. 30 yards now in penalties on the Pioneers. And it'll set the drive all the way back to the 23. First and 10, Northland at their own 23-yard line. First and 10 for the Pioneers. Wells. Single man flanking him from the backside. Terrell Harris. Twins to each side this time. Stack formation on the left, though. Give to Harris. Harris puts the ball on the ground, squirts his way forward. Will pick up 5, maybe 6, and another flag down late. Out on the wideout here. Let's see what they're going to call this one. Face mask on the defense. Harris with a nice gain, first of all. Is it added to the end of the run? It is. $15-yard penalty at the end of the run. 50 yards and penalties now on Minnesota West. So give Harris the gain of 8 first. And then the first down. 8 first down for the Pioneers, and it's all the way out to the 47-yard line after the gain and the penalty. Pioneers will run stacks on both sides this time. Out of that pistol again. And at the last minute, they're going to change the play. Wells. Looking to throw the football. Pumps once across the middle. And Clarington being held on to again. And there's the flag from the back judge this time. Side judge wasn't going to call it. It was clearly a penalty. Every time Clarington goes out, they got a whole handful of jersey or shoulder pads. And they'll mark off enough for another first down. First down number 9 on the Pioneers. Ball at the Blue Jay 43 now, first down. Wells to throw, now in trouble. Picks up a block, but cannot control it, and is sacked on the play. First sack of the ball game controlled by Odell Creighton. Our sacks brought to you today and every day by the folks at Azure Electronics in Beaver Falls. Never get into a cold car in the winter or a warm car in the summer again with an auto start system from CompuStar and Azure Electronics in Beaver Falls. Loss of 8 on the play. Second down and 18. And the Pioneers changing the play again. 3:50 left to play here in the opening quarter. Harris now will move to Wells' right. Trips to the right, single receiver left. Wells, straight drop back. Wanting to throw the football now, pulls it down. In trouble and going to be sacked again for a big loss all the way back to the 35. He'll lose 14 more. Actually, they're going to give a few of it back. And it'll be a loss of about 11. Back-to-back sacks by Minnesota West. Have the Pioneers all the way back down at their own 34-yard line. Third down and long, they need to get to Minnesota West 34. Third down and 29 for the Pioneers here. Wells, under pressure again. They'll dump it out in the flat for Harris, and Harris slips trying to make a cut and goes down. He'll pick up about 3, and that's it, maybe 4. Down to the 41. 75 yards down in completion for Wells. The Pioneers will be forced to win. Fourth down and long here for the Pioneers. Back-to-back sacks on the Azure Electronics sack attack. And the Pioneers will have to kick it free. Rockley to punt it free. Lucas back to receive. And so is Colson. Lucas will come up and field it at the 35-yard line. Moving to his right, spins around there, runs out of one tackle, takes it across the 40 to the 45, 46, and a flag down on the play again. A couple of players hooked up in John, and this one's going to the Pioneers, I think. Referees are talking it over. There'll be a little conversation between the two teams here. They're pointing both ways. I wonder if this is personal foul on each team. We'll see. Nobody's moving anywhere yet. Referees are still talking it over. It's an illegal shift. A late call on an illegal shift. That flag came down after the play. Then a dead ball foul. And they'll mark it off from the end of the play. So a huge penalty on the Pioneers here puts Minnesota West in great field position. At the Northland Pioneer 34.
Blue Jays will have it first and 10 after the Northland 34.
First and 10 at the Pioneer 34-yard line. Big test here for the Pioneer defense, up 14-0. Minnesota West in great striking distance at the Pioneer 34 with 2:08 to play here in the opening quarter. Dinklenberg out of that shotgun or pistol again, if you will, single back. Turns, fakes, hands off to Gardner. Gardner puts his head down and is scooped up after a short gain and then pulled back on a play by McGaddy. They're going to spot the ball inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. They said the drive started at the 35. So a gain of 1 on the play, second down. And 9. Second and 9 here, Twins to both sides. Northland up 14-0. Tinklenberg wants to throw again. Looking down the football field, waits across the middle. It's popped up in the air and then caught and then taken away to the Pioneers. Pioneers have the football. Yes. Ripped out of the hands of the receiver by Stephen Gustaves. Second turnover in the opening quarters. The Pioneers took it away on the fight for the football on the way down.
Flipping the ball away for the Pioneers, the number 90, Stefan Gustaves.
Gustaves with the takeaway. First and 10 Pioneers at their own 25-yard line. So 2 turnovers on Minnesota West here in the opening quarter. Pioneers with it. Wells. Flanked on the right-hand side, has trips to the right, single receiver to the left this time. Takes the handoff, quick stand-up pass out to Clarington. Clarington stiff arms the first man, breaks the tackle, and hit by the second and third guys, and a flag down there. See what this flag is for. Been a ton of laundry on the field already in the first quarter of this one. Waiting for the referees, talking it over. And they're talking it over with a team meeting over on the far sidelines. Holding on the offense is the call. Decline. Personal foul, face mask on the offense. What they do, call it on Clarington for a stiff arm? You stiff arm a guy, unless you close your hand, it's not a face mask, but that's what they're going to call. So they'll step off another big penalty on the Pioneers. And make it first and long. First down and 25 after the penalty. Back at the 14-yard line now. Wells out of the gun, twins to each side. Straight handoff, the running back's going to go nowhere. Scooped up by 4 Minnesota West players. Back at about the 12, and we'll lose 2. Off the bottom of the pile that time, Jalen Davis. Second down for the Pioneers and about 27. Second and 27 for the Pioneers here. Wells retreats to near the goal line, looking across the middle of the football field. Caught! Big gain for the Pioneers down the football field. Dwayne Taylor. Taylor takes it all the way across midfield into Minnesota West territory. From the 12-yard line, that's 38 yards to midfield. And they'll spot him 3 or 2 yards on the other side of that, a 40-yard pass play. 40 yards on the pass play in first and 10. Big play for the Pioneers to get out of problems. 115 yards passing now for Wells. Pioneers waiting to call from the sidelines on the offense. They're going to wait for the quarter to run out. That's what they're going to do. First quarter has come to an end. After 1 quarter of playing, Northland 14, Minnesota West nothing. MCAC football playoffs on 12:30 GTRF.
As we start second quarter, the first and 10 Pioneers at Blue Jay 25.
Start of the second quarter, Pioneers swing the ball out to Devin Clarington. Clarington puts his head down, will cross the 45-yard line on the first down play. Fourth play of the possession, or fifth play of the possession for the Pioneers. And Clarington will pick up about 6. Second catch for Clarington for 9 yards, 121 yards of completion for Wells. And second down and 4. Northland up 14-0. They'll run twin stacks on either side. High backfield stacked behind the quarterback. Wells turns and hands off. Pioneers get a kickout block, trying to break it outside here. Cutting the football up the field is Jarrell Urey. And Urey will get a big gain. Take the ball from the 43-yard line all the way down to the 32, 31. 31-yard line, gain of 11. 11 yards on the gain. First down Pioneers. They're 11th already. Sixth play of the drive here for the Pioneers. Started at their own 25 after the turnover. Wells to throw, looking down the football field, and all kinds of flags as again Clarington held on to by the defensive back, and this time everybody got it. Cornell Washington just simply wrapped both arms around him. Looked like he was hugging him like they were going steady. Should be pass interference on the defense, and it is. First down, Pioneers number 12. They'll call defensive holding. And they'll spot the ball all the way down to the 21. Already 70 yards and penalties on Minnesota West, and we're early in the second quarter. Pioneers have 60. It's been a penalty played game. Pioneers first and 10 at the Minnesota West 21. Wells to throw, quick out pattern here, complete. Trying to break a couple of tackles and work his way forward on the play. Dylan Lee, the ball may have come out. Minnesota West says they have it. What do the referees say? It is Minnesota West football. Referee's still on pylon here. It is Minnesota West football. So Lee got about 5 and then turned the ball over. Lee got about 5 on the play for his second catch. 126 yards, Rumpler on the fumble recovery. Second turnover, first turnover of the ball game for the Pioneers, third of the ball game overall. And Minnesota West will start with it first and 10 at the Pioneer 8, or at the Minnesota West 18. Dinklenberg going to run with it himself here. Spun around, ball comes out. And recovered by one of the defensive or offensive linemen, but Dinklenberg down on the ground and writhing around in pain here. He got hit trying to avoid the tackle. The ball squirted out. The starting quarterback is injured for Minnesota West. And this is huge because they lost their original starting quarterback for the season earlier. Now he's up and coming off the field under his own power. They'll have to leave for at least one play because of the injury stoppage. And a spot to go ball for a gain of 2. Make it second down and 8. Ball out at the 18-yard line here. And in to play quarterback will come Frank Cromer, sophomore from Detroit, Michigan. Cromer will enter here. Second down. Cromer out of the gun. Left-hander. Looking to throw. In trouble. Now swings it out of the backfield complete. Running back breaks the tackle and squirts ahead for first down yardage. On the game, Khalid Desmond. Desmond will take it from the 18. All the way up to 27. The game is 9 and first down. Second first down of the ball game for Minnesota West. Cromer stays in here. Left-hander wants to throw again, swings it out of the backfield again. For Desmond, who avoids a couple of tackles, squirts ahead for another nice gain. Another nice gain for Desmond. And he'll take the ball out to the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 8 more. 17 yards and 2 quick pass plays. Cromer to throw again, pump fakes down, runs away from traffic, tripped up, stumbles forward, and then taken down on the play. for a short loss. It is a sack. It's another Azure Electronics sack brought to you by Azure Electronics in Thief River Falls. Never get into a cold car in the winter or a warm car in the summer again with a CompuStar Auto Start from Azure Electronics. Loss for Cromer is 1. That'll make it 3rd down and 3. Roller on the tackle for the Pioneers. 3rd down and 3 play here. From the 34-yard line, Cromer stays at quarterback. Pump fake's going to run the delay drop. Spun around here is Desmond, but he'll squirt forward for the first down. Desmond will take it from the 34 out to the 40. The gain is 6 at first down. First carry of the ball game for Desmond for a half a dozen. Trying to pick up Tinklenberg on the sidelines and see how he's doing for Minnesota West, but Cromer playing just fine right now. Cromer with Desmond behind him, twins to each side, 1st and 10. Minnesota West 40. Cromer going to keep it himself here, runs out of the first tackle, then slides forward and gives himself up after a gain of 4. 2nd down here. 2nd and 6 at the Minnesota West 44. Pioneers make a defensive change as Richard Molina comes into the game. Cromer with trips left this time, single receiver to the right-hand side. Cromer pumps once, looking down the football field, turns it out in the flat. Wanted Colson and threw the ball well short and incomplete. The incompletion will bring up 3rd down. 8th play of this possession that started the Minnesota West 16-yard line. The ball sits at the Blue Jay 44. It needs to get to midfield. They need 6. 3rd down and 6 here. See a ball being tossed around on the sidelines. I'm assuming Tinklenberg trying to check out that arm that got dinged when he fumbled the football. Cromer, the left-hander, out of that pistol again. Twins to each side one more time. Cromer just about drew the Pioneers offside. Handoff here to Khalid. He puts his head down and gets a couple, but it'll be 4th down. Khalid Desmond will get a couple, but it'll be 4th down and about 4. Key 4th down play here on the short side of midfield, and they show punt. So off of the turnover, Minnesota West will move the football a little bit for field position and flip the field, but now we'll be forced to punt it away. Still 10:25 and counting to play here in the first half. Don't forget at halftime, our Woodmaster intermission report comes your way. Brought to you by Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces in Red Lake Falls. Got a good punt the last time. See, Julian turned into a good return. All kinds of movement. One of the upmen came forward. Pioneers going to be called for offside, but the question is, were they drawn off? Offensive interior lineman Michael Denby came forward toward the line of scrimmage. They say no, Pioneers offside. It's a 5-yard penalty and enough for a first down to keep the drive alive. So a bit of trickery works here for Minnesota West. And they won't have to punt it. They'll keep the drive alive and keep moving it. Blue Jays now in Pioneer territory at the 48. Cromer comes back out at quarterback again. 1st and 10 at the Northland 48-yard line. 14-0 Northland, our score on the Pizza Hut scoreboard. Don't forget, give the Pizza Hut a call at 681-1306. Now we have a whistle here by the head linesman in stoppage. Do we have the wrong football? Delay of game. 75 yards and penalties now on the delay of game to get the offense back on the field for Minnesota West. Laundry galore. The officials are certainly going to have to wash the flags at the end of this one. They've been on the ground more than they've been in their pockets. We're not yet to halftime. We have about 140 yards in penalties between the two teams. Cromer to throw it, turns an out pattern and misses Colston by a bunch. Incomplete.
Reggie Colson is incomplete. Now the coverage for the.
Second down and 15. Second and 15 here.
Second and 15 for Minnesota West. At their 47.
Second and 15 at the 47, Cromer. Play action, wants to throw the football, turn out pass here, popped up in the air and incomplete, well defended again by the Pioneers and David Bordas. The incompletion will bring up third down and 15. As Smith couldn't handle it, now he'll leave the field. And Cromer comes back out again, single back. Is Desmond on his right, twins to each side. Two featured receivers both on the left. Cromer looking right, now comes back left, looking down the football field, wants Colson, and it's picked off by the Pioneers. Intercepted again by Northland, Justin Murray.
Number 24, Justin Murray.
Murray picks it off. Third interception in the first half for Minnesota West. Pioneers up 14-0, will start again at their own 30. Northland 30, first and 10, 9-12 still to play in the first half. Northland scored on their opening two possessions and since then have punted and turned the ball over on a fumble. Wells with twins to each side will start the offense here. He looks left all the way. Throwing the ball in a turnout pattern here, complete. And diving his way forward and out of bounds is Alejandro Bryant. 19 Bryant, right? It is Bryant. Gain of 11 and first down. They're going to call it 12. Pioneers hand up on a draw play this time. Tripped up and taken down in a nice ankle tackle. Pioneers will lose about a yard. As Uri will lose a yard on the play. Third play of the drive coming here for the Pioneers. 138 yards of completions now for Wells, by the way. Second and 11 play here. At the Pioneer 41-yard line. Send the motion man out, naked backfield. Wells looks to the running back, then swings back to the bubble screen. They'll break a couple of tackles and drive forward on the play. On the catch that time, Will Grant. Grant will pick up 9, possibly 10. We're waiting for the referees. They say third down, he's short. Actually, he'll get 10, he needed 11. Grant will pick up 10. 148 yards down completions. And third down and 1 here. Pioneers will go straight ahead on a dive play and have enough for the first down yardage. On the carry that time, Colin St. Julian. St. Julian on the carry. We'll take it from the 49 to the 46. He'll pick up 3 in first down. 13 first downs, rather 14 first downs now for the Pioneers here in the first half of play. Pioneers first down. In Blue Jay territory at the 46. Blue Jays showing blitz. Pioneers will stand up and change the play here. Alright, Blue Jays still show blitz. They come on a delayed blitz. Wells hanging up straight down the football field. Has a man wide open, in and out of the hands of Grant. And he was open down the sidelines. He has a defensive back beat by 2 steps. The incompletion will bring up a second down play. Pioneers went for the home run ball and had it. They just didn't complete it. If Grant catches it, he's down the sidelines and scores. He'd have caught the ball at about the 8-yard line. Second and 10 at the Minnesota West 36. or 46, excuse me. Wells, draw play, and the running back slips and goes down on the play. Tyrell Harris will lose a couple of yards.
Lost a couple on the run.
And it'll bring up 3rd down and 12. Landon lost his feet. Wells comes to the sideline to get the play here on 3rd and 12. I see Cromer still getting loose on the sideline, so I'm assuming that means we won't see Tinklenberg back. At least not right away. 14-0 Pioneers here in the first half of this opening round Minnesota College Athletic Conference playoff game. Wells keeps it back into block, steps up, looks across the middle here for Devonair Clarington, who made a sliding catch and then dropped it. Nope, they say incomplete. Had it and then dropped it. It's 4th and 12. Had it but couldn't hang on. Fourth down play here. The Pioneers to punt it away. Simeus Rockley to give it a boot. Rockley sent the punt away for the Pioneers. Lucas back to receive. A little bit of a low snap, in trouble, try to pitch it. And it'll be great field position here for Minnesota West back at the 41-yard line. Low snap, and Rockley tried to pitch it and hit one of the on-rushing men in the head, and the ball falling on at the 41-yard line. Officially, I think it goes as a fumble. Second here in the quarter for the Pioneers. Minnesota West will start 1st and 10 for the 3rd time in Northland territory here at the Northland 42-yard line. Going to call it officially the 42. Cromer comes back out at quarterback. Left-hander looks to his left all the way across the middle, complete to Colson, his first catch of the ball game. Bounces off of the first man and has 1st down yardage. From the 42 down to the 26, the gain is 16 in 1st down. 33 yards now for Cromer. Cromer to throw again. Turnout passes to Linder. And Linder will take it to the 21, 22-yard line. Gain is 3 or 4. Gonna call it 4. 37 yards now.
Sorry.
Pass complete, swing pass out to Khalid Desmond. Desmond breaks the tackle, going down the sideline, dives for the end zone, won't get in, but it'll be 1st and goal. Desmond from the 22 down to the 2, the gain is 20. He's got 3 balls since Cromer's come in for 37 yards. McCaddy will chase him down on the play. 1st and goal here for Minnesota West. Their 6th 1st down at the 1-yard line. Snap the football. Cromer trying to dive ahead. Touchdown. Cromer for the touchdown on a 1-yard run. As Minnesota West has cut into the deficit. Dinklenberg's okay to kick. We see that. He'll come out to put the boot to it and try and make it a 7-point game. So Cromer leads the team on a touchdown drive. Booch kick here is up, and it is good. Dinklenberg with the kick. 4:52 to play until halftime. Northland's lead cut in half. It's Northland 14, Minnesota West 7. Minnesota 8 College Athletic Conference playoffs on 1230 KTRF in River Falls, Minnesota.
against Northland for a personal foul. After the extra point, 4:52 to go in first down, our score is Northland Pioneers 14, and the Minnesota West Blue Jays 7. The penalty on the extra point is going to be assessed here on the kickoff. Caleb Dinkley will kick from midfield. Matt Green, for the Pioneers, number 24, Dustin Murray. Also number 7,
Pioneers going for an extra point or a personal foul on the extra point. That tees the ball up at the 50-yard line. And now I believe Minnesota West has taken a timeout. Coach has changed his mind. I think you're going to see onside kick coming here. Because the Blue Jays are taking Earl's Market timeout. Earl's Market timeout, courtesy of Earl's Market, corner of 8th and Main, River Falls. Coach has had his say with the team in the huddle, and now they'll break it and come back out to the field here. But with the ball at midfield, still 4:52 and 2 timeouts left in the first half for Minnesota West after using one there. Why not try an onside kick here? You can get the ball in pretty good field position if you successfully convert it. So 5 plays to go 42 yards on the touchdown drive, and the Pioneers helping out with a personal foul on the extra point. It's 14-7 Northland right now. Northland scored on their first 2 possessions, but haven't done a whole lot with it since then. A punt, a fumble, and then a punt with a bad snap and a fumble. Tinklenberg. Yep, gonna pooch it along and hit one of the Pioneers that came right back, came right to Minnesota West. Onside kick successful. Told you it was coming. They pooched it right at one of the Pioneers who boxed with it and it fell in front of them. And Minnesota West recovers with great field position. Minnesota West to the Pioneers 38-39 yard line. And a chance to strike again before halftime and tie this game up or take the lead. Really smart play. You knew it was coming when they called timeout. With the ball in midfield, why wouldn't they? And the Blue Jays with great field position here. Cromer loose the handle, ball's loose on the football field, diving on. I think Cromer got it back all the way back in midfield. Should be a loss of about a dozen on the play. Are they going to mark him shy of it? It is right at midfield. The loss is 12. Second down and 22. After the bad snap. Second and 12 here. Cromer still in at quarterback in relief of Tinklenberg. Cromer wants to throw. Left-hander. Here's all kinds of time down the middle of the football field. Oh, incomplete. Great adjustment by the receiver, and then he dropped it. Blaze Williams reached back for it, but couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. What a really nice adjustment by Williams to a ball thrown behind him. But it falls incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 22. That would have been a huge play for Minnesota West and momentum in this football game. So now it's third and 22. 4 minutes and 2 seconds left till halftime. Northland clinging to a 14-7 lead after jumping out 14-0. Cromer, the second quarterback here, looks to the sidelines. Has time across the middle, incomplete and thrown low. Kind of short-armed it, threw it incomplete. It's fourth down. And here comes the punting unit back out. Now the last time the punting unit came back out, they faked it and drew the Pioneers offside, but they can't get a 22-yard penalty here, so I think they're punting this away. Down to 3:57 left till halftime. Pioneers should get the football and 1 timeout remaining. The question is where, if St. Julian can make a return. Back to kick it free, Trayvon Wilkinson. They'll bring the gunner in motion. Wilkinson has time. Pioneers get up with a short kick and goes out of bounds. We'll see where they angle this one forward to. right at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Northland at the 35-yard line. And the Pioneers will have it 1st and 10 from there. First and 10 Pioneers at their own 35. They've not found the end zone since their second possession of the first quarter, but lead it 14-7. Late defensive adjustment here by Minnesota West. Pioneers will send twins to each side, single back in the backfield. Wells looking it over. Wells turns, hands off the running back. It's St. Julian. He squirts through the hole, puts his head down, drives forward, and gets about 8 on the play. He's got 22 yards now and 3 carries. And 2nd and 2 here. 3:35 left to play in the first half. Pioneers up 14-7. 2nd and 2. Second and 2 offering here. Wells checking things over. Twins to both sides, stack formation on each side. Wells going to keep it himself on a quarterback draw. Has first down yardage and then slips and goes down after he picks up about 5. First down number 15 for the Pioneers here in the first half. And the clock continues to run. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line, down to 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Northland has 1 timeout remaining. Remember, they burned 2 in the opening quarter. 1 on each of their first 2 touchdown drives. Trips to the right this time. Wells flanked on the left-hand side by St. Julian, looking right all the way. And how is that not a hold? Defensive back had a whole handful of Lee's jersey and pulled him aside to try and go get the football, but they're just simply going to call it incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Second down and 10 for the Pioneers.
2nd and 10 play here. Minnesota West defensive backs very handsy, I will say that. Wells, hand off St. Julian, coming left side, gets to the corner. St. Julian puts his head down, squirts ahead, and is spun out of bounds after a gain of 6 or 7. It'll be 3rd down. The ball at the 43-yard line. Gain of 7 for St. Julian. He's got 29 yards now and 4 carries. 5th play of this possession for the Pioneers. Blitz shown here. Wells under pressure. Now looking out in the flat. It's complete, but going to be little or no gain. In fact, might even be a loss on the play. Pulled down by Dwayne Taylor. He will lose yardage on the play. He'll lose about 3. 145 yards now. Wells and the Pioneers to the line of scrimmage on 4th down. Down to 140 left to play. Pioneers will go here on 4th down and about 6. Blitz shown again by Minnesota West. Wells in trouble. Wells rolling out, grabbed and thrown down. Spun down by the back of the jersey. For a big loss and another sack, brought to you by Azure Electronics. Azure Electronics in Thief River Falls. Don't forget, never get into a cold or warm car again. Here's another flag on the play. As guys are barking and screeching at each other one more time. Azure Electronics sponsors our sack attack each and every day. And let's see who they're going to call this one on. A lot of John between these two teams. Personal foul, dead ball foul. Offsetting penalties called on both teams. So Minnesota West off of the sack and a big loss all the way back to the 39-yard line. Pioneers will lose 9 on the play. Minnesota West of the Northland 39, 1st and 10. Still 2 timeouts and 1:31 left, trailing it by 7. Cromer, who's led them to 1 touchdown, back in at quarterback again. The left-hander looks it over, he's got twins to both sides, his top two receivers. Both wide on the left, but they'll go right-hand side. Little pick play there. Complete for first down yardage and more. Down the sidelines to the end zone. Touchdown. Swing pass right to Blaze Williams for the touchdown from 39 yards out. Williams from 39 yards out will take it the distance for the score. And we're 1 point away from tie ball game. One play, 39 yards on a score. And here is the extra point attempt from Dinklenberg. Dinklenberg's kick is up, and it is good. And just that quick, we're all tied at 14. Dinklenberg with the extra point. It's a 14-14 tie, 1:22 left till halftime on 12:30 KTRF. Well, here's Dinklenberg to attempt another kickoff. Last one was a line drive onside. This one will sail down and be picked up by the Pioneers. Pioneers will start it forward. Trying to get to the outside. Running back picks up a couple of blocks. That was driven out of bounds on the play. Murray on the return. Murray will go out of bounds. Where have they got it? At the 42 or at the 36? See what they've decided here. Looks like the 37. First and 10 Pioneers at the 37-yard line. And we have a Minnesota West player down in the football field. First and 10 Pioneers at their own 36. 1:15 and one timeout left till halftime. Pioneers put it in the end zone their very first two possessions of this ballgame, and then have been stagnant offensively since then. A punt, a fumble, a bad snap on a punt that resulted in a fumble, and over on downs on a sack play on a 4th down and short. And that resulted in setting up Minnesota West's second touchdown. Minnesota West went interception, punt, interception, interception, and then have scored on 2 of their last 3 possessions to tie this game up at 14 after the Pioneers had control at 14-0. Northland looked like they were going to roll away in this. Remember, the winner plays again on Sunday of next week. The loser is all done for the year. And being helped up and off the football field here, one of the Minnesota West players. This is Kesri LeBeau, limping off on a right ankle. First and 10 at the 37-yard line for Northland. About a minute and 15 and one timeout remaining, but Northland has not moved the football much as of late. Minnesota West is sold out of the pass and blitzed on just about every play. Trying to check it here. Now they're sending a Minnesota West player off the field because they didn't have a mouth guard, I don't think. So he'll have to leave for a play. Pioneers will put 2 receivers on the right, 2 more on the left. Now the referees are talking things over again. Our head linesman and our head referee. Long conference. conversation here.
Bam's not in here? No. Y'all fucking me up. I can't.
Finally, they have not moved the football at all. They've just decided that's where it's gonna be after all that conversation.
What the fuck?
Wells out of the gun. Under pressure, here's that backside blitz again, and Wells taken down for another big loss. It's another quarterback sack brought to you by the folks at Azure Electronics, all the way back inside the 25 and the 24. The loss is 13 more. Never get into a cold or warm car again. Minnesota West will take timeout. They still have one remaining. They're trying to get the football back one more time before halftime. They've scored on 2 of their last 3 possessions, and oh yeah, we'll get the football to start the second half. All the momentum right now in the way of the Blue Jays, who have cut this from 14-0 to 14-14, and have put pressure on the Pioneers. They've sacked the quarterback with regularity here as of late. They just keep bringing pressure, and the Pioneers are missing guys in their assignments. Minnesota West will come out of the Earls Market timeout, brought to you by Earls Market, corner of 8th and Main. Don't forget Earls Market has great produce for you too at Earls Market in the River Falls. Minnesota West showing blitz up the middle again. Now the linebacker backs out of it. Wells on second down and long here. Wells under pressure from the backside, avoids one man, now avoids a second, picks up a block. Swings it out of the backfield for Cullen St. Julian, who gets the block, and then gets hit and has the ball knocked away, and a flag down on a play there. Another flag down. St. Julian will take it from the 25-yard line out to the 32. The pickup is 7. Now let's see what the flag is for. And they're saying illegal block on the Pioneers from all the way across the football field. 10 yards and penalties, 90 yards and penalties now on Northland. And they'll repeat second down. Second down and 32 after the penalty, back to the 22. Wells again, turn out pass here, bubble screen complete. Down the sidelines, breaking a couple of tackles before being driven out of bounds on the play that time for Northland is Khalil Grant. Grant will take it back inside the original down sticks. And make it from second down and 22 to third down and about 8. The pickup is 14. He's got 46 yards in catches now. 166 yards in passing for Wells, who will go again here on third down. Wells again has to bobble the football momentarily, now rolling to his right. Wells throwing it well down the football field here. It's caught again by Lee. Lee all the way inside the 20-yard line, first down. All the way out of bounds at the Minnesota West 16. He'll take the ball from the 40-yard line all the way. Wells the throw, rolling to his right, under pressure. Avoids a couple of guys and steps out of bounds, but he'll lose some yardage and preserve some clock here. 34. About 44 yards on the completion. Lee. Over 200 yards now, 210 to be precise. Lost on a play of 7. Wells to throw again. Now under pressure, steps up into the pocket, he rolls to his left. Cuts back against the green, breaks a couple of tackles with 19 seconds left. The Pioneers are going to have to take a timeout here. Pioneers are going to be forced to use their final timeout with 15 seconds left to play.
Well, the Pioneers are down their final timeout.
Pioneers will take a Earls Market timeout. Back in a moment. Timeout by Earls. Northland trying to punch one in before halftime in a 14-14 tie.
Once again, Northland Community Technical College would like to thank their corporate sponsors. They include Universal Screen Print, Order Screen Paint, Evergreen Implements, Legend Sporting Goods, and the Beaver Falls Flag.
Third down and 8 for the Northland Pioneers at the 15-yard line with 15 seconds left to play. St. Julian in the backfield with Wells. All kinds of movement along the defensive line. They're going to send the house again. They throw it up for grabs here. Incomplete. Tried to go to Lee again. It'll be fourth down. Down to 10 seconds left to play. Dylan Lee here, so it's either into the end zone or a first down out of bounds and getting one more play with 10 ticks left on the clock. Pioneers cannot stop it again. They're out of timeouts. Fourth down here for Wells. You can imagine they're going to bring the house. He's got St. Julian with it. Looking to throw the football. Has his man in the end zone. Touchdown, wide open. Wide open on a touchdown pass to Khalil Grant from 15 yards out. 61 yards for Grant. 225 yards for Wells. The Pioneers are first back on top before halftime. Pioneers go 63 yards in 8 plays for the touchdown before halftime as Grant pulls it in. And they'll go for 2. Wells looking left, swings it out for St. Julian. He makes a one-arm catch, but has a convoy of white jerseys in front of him, nowhere to go. So the 2-point conversion fails. Pioneers get on the board on the touchdown pass to Grant. But the extra point fails. It is 20-14 Northland with just 3.9 seconds left here in the first half of play. We'll stay right here pending the kickoff. Northland leading 20-14. So a quick drive for the Pioneers down the field to score. Right before halftime, Minnesota West will get the football to start the second half as the Pioneers get ready to kick it off here. The comeback for Minnesota West fueled by backup quarterback Frank Cromer after starting quarterback Tinklenberg was injured on a scramble play. He's still around, he's still kicking, but he hasn't come back in to play quarterback. Line drive kick here by the Pioneers sails out of bounds. That'll cost them 5 more. And gives good field position to Minnesota West for one last play with 39 seconds left. 95 yards and penalties on the Pioneers, 75 on Minnesota West, so 170 yards and penalties in the first half. And Minnesota West is going to take this ball. Or are they going to have them re-kick it? They're going to take it and have them re-kick it. Open for a return. 3.9 seconds left. So they'll step it back to the 30 and tee it up, and we'll kick it again. Another attempt here for Johnson Jones. Jones will step it off and boot it from the 30. Minnesota West hoping for a return here. Jones will dribble along the ground. It pops up in the air. Minnesota West going to get great field position there in midfield right now. And taken down, but the clock ran out on the return. So it's half on the return. Northland leading it 20-14 over Minnesota West. Our Woodmaster intermission report coming up. Brought to you by Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces of Red Lake Falls. We'll check out their scoring replays and the first half of play in just a moment. After this from the folks at Woodmaster on the Woodmaster intermission report on Fever Falls Sports Radio. Well, that was an interesting first half.
Yeah.
Welcome back on the Woodmaster Intermission Report, brought to you by Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces of Red Lake Falls. 5 scores in the first half. The first 2 belonging to the Northland Pioneers. Devonair Clarington catches a 3-yard touchdown pass. The Pioneers' opening drive, 12 plays, 70 yards. Northland converts a 2-point conversion and jumps out 8-0. About 4 minutes later, the Pioneers would score again. Lee catching a 34-yard touchdown pass from Wells. The extra point that kick was no good. 5 plays, 40 yards. That made it 14-0 in favor of the Pioneers. But Minnesota West came back after their starting quarterback was injured. Quarterback Cromer converted back-to-back scores. At 4:52 of the second quarter, Cromer would convert a 1-yard run, capping a 5-play, 42-yard drive. And then at 1:22, Cromer would throw a 39-yard touchdown pass to Williams on a 1-play drive. Both extra points by Tinklenberg were good, and that made it at halftime, that made it 14-14. But the Pioneers would come back with one last drive before halftime. Grant catching a 15-yard touchdown pass from Wells. That 15-yard touchdown pass, the second for Wells in the first half of play, would make it 20-6. That carrying a 8-play, 63-yard drive. And the extra point attempt was no good, and that's where we stand at halftime. At halftime, it's Northland 20, Minnesota West 14. Second half action is around the corner, but the Pioneers on top by a half a dozen. Minnesota West will get the ball to start the second half. That's a scoring recap of the first half of play. We'll check on the statistical information and more coming up. Northland Pioneers lead it at the half of our contest by a margin of 20-14 on 1230 KTRF. And welcome back on our Woodmaster Intermission Report, brought to you by Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces of Red Lake Falls. At halftime, the Northland Pioneers hold a 20-14 lead over Minnesota West. Pioneers led 14-0. Minnesota West came back and tied it at 14. And the Pioneers scored just before half for a 20-14 lead. But Minnesota West should get the football to start the second half of play. Take a look at the individual statistics in the first half on our Woodmaster Intermission Report, brought to you by Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces of Red Lake Falls. Minnesota West, a total of 7 first downs in the first half, all of them coming late. In the rushing department, 11 carries for just 2 yards when you tack in the sacks. So it hasn't been very proficient in the rushing game. The combined passing of the 2 quarterbacks in the first half, Tinklenberg went 3 for 7. They threw the ball a total of 19 times and completed 9 of 19. So 6 for 12 for Cromer since coming in, and he has thrown a touchdown pass. 3 interceptions combined between the 2 quarterbacks for a total of 113 yards. So a total of 30 plays in the first half, much less in the offensive play department for Minnesota West. A total of 30 plays in the first half. 19 passing and 11 rushing. And in those 30 plays, 124 yards. For Minnesota West, they have penalized 7 times for 75 yards and turned the ball over 3 times. Leading receiver in the ballgame is actually out of the backfield, Khalil Desmond, who has 37 yards on 3 receptions. The longest reception yardage, 39 yards on the touchdown pass to Blaze Williams on his only catch of the ballgame. The big news, Reginald Colson III, who is being touted as a Division I receiver, has just 1 catch in this football game for a total of 16 yards. Of course, the Pioneers' top receiver, Devonair Clarington, also touted as a Division I receiver, has just 2 catches for 9 yards in the first half. For the Pioneers, 18 first half first downs. In the rushing department, the Pioneers have carried the ball 23 times, counting the sacks now, for a total of 34 yards in the game. Leading rusher is Colin St. Julian, 29 yards on 4 carries in the contest. In the passing department, Craig Wells has put it up 23 times in the first half of play and completed 15 of them. He has not thrown an interception. He has thrown 2 touchdown passes for 225 yards. So 46 plays for the Pioneers, 23 rushing and 23 receiving, for a total of 259 yards in the first half of play. Pioneers, though, have been penalized 10 times for 95 yards. They had 18 penalties in their last game, already in 10 in this game. That's just simply too many. And have turned the ball over twice on fumbles in the first half of play. Those are the individual statistics for the first half. Our individual statistics brought to you by the folks at Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces and the Woodmaster Intermission Report. Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces in Red Lake Falls. More Intermission Report coming up on 1230 KTRF. You're listening to the MCAC football playoffs on Thief River Falls Radio Sports from Northland Community Technical College and Lowell T. Swenson Field in Thief River Falls. Northland leading Minnesota West at halftime by a 20-14 margin. Back with more in just a few moments. Should be Minnesota West football to start the second half of play. I've seen Cromer come back out. I'm sure Tinklenberg will be back out. Now I think I see him in the middle of the football field leading the team in stretches. So both quarterbacks are back on the field. The question is here, who will Coach Linder decide to go to in the second half of this game after Cromer led his team to 2 touchdowns in the first half to tie the ball game up. Both teams stretching out and getting ready for the second half of our contest. Pioneers have turned over twice on 2 fumbles. One of those officially on a bad snap on a punt that the punter tried to turn into something and ended up throwing it off of the helmet of a Minnesota West player on a pitch play, and it bounced around and Minnesota West recovered. Pioneers going to give up field position there either way. It just got made worse and magnified by somebody trying to make a big play out of nothing. Both teams gather together and we get ready for the second half of our contest here. Find it interesting that Colson, the top receiver for Minnesota West, came out early from halftime, sat on the bench across the way, and when his team came out, did not go over and stretch with them. He sat on the bench. Now he's playing a little catch over there with Cromer, while the rest of the team meets out on the field and gets ready for the second half of this one. Winner advances to play next Sunday in the second round of the Minnesota College Athletic Conference playoffs. The loser's season is all done. Northland Pioneers are the conference champions after winning the West for the first time since both Bottineau and State College of Science came into the league. One of those 2 teams has won the conference championship each and every year since, until this year, when the Pioneers won the conference title. Now they're trying to turn that conference title into back-to-back state titles after winning the state a year ago. But they're going to have to get by a good Minnesota West team today, and then play another good team next week at home if they win today, and then win a game down at St. Cloud to claim the state title before going to a bowl game. They could have as many as 3 more games left after today, but they've got to get by today's game first and put a W in the column. The Pioneers are 6-2. Minnesota West is 4-4, including a 56-36 shootout loss to the Pioneers in their first meeting just a few games ago. 3 games back, about 3 weeks back. Both teams gather around their respective coaches, and we're just about ready for second half action to get underway here. We're going to see the Pioneers' big interior offensive lineman. Thomas O'Malley returned, the freshman on the mounted video at 6'4" and 310. Has had his ankle retaped twice, and I see he's coming out now to the sidelines with an ice pack on the back of that ankle. So walking under his own power, that's good, but with an ice pack on the back of that ankle to keep the swelling down, so that tends to tell you that he will not return today, although still dressed on a football field with his teammates. Ready to get it underway with the second half. 30 minutes of football in the books, another 30 minutes on the clock to go. Here today, Northland Pioneers up 20-14 at halftime. Minnesota West has lined up to receive the kickoff for the second half. This has been your Woodmaster Intermission Report, brought to you by Woodmaster Wood Burning Furnaces in Red Lake Falls. To a Johnson Jones will kick it away. Didn't warm up much today. 42 right now. Was supposed to be around 50 and sunny. We haven't seen the sun at all. Huron and Colson back to receive. Pioneers will scribble along the ground. Takes a big high hop. Picked up by one of the up men. This is Ethan Lindley, and Lindley will return the ball out to near midfield before being driven out of bounds. So Minnesota West will start with good field position. Just shy of the midfield strike. First and 10 for Minnesota West, our first play of the second half just underway. And the Pioneer defense again will have to defend against the short field. This has been the one drawback for the Pioneers this year. They've not been able to pin teams deep with their kicking game. Minnesota West will send twins to each side. It is Cromer to start the second half. Takes the inside handoff and look for the quick crossing pattern across the middle of the big tight end Linder. And Linder fumbles the football. It's stripped away as he's being spun down. The Pioneers recover it. Linder will complete it for a gain of 10. And then the Pioneers will pick it up on the fumble. Marquavius McCanny will make the recovery here in the third quarter. So a quick fourth turnover. One play and a fumble. Linder spun around after the completion. It actually gained 10 yards, then turned it over on a fumble. Pioneers 1st and 10 now at their own 40-yard line. So the defense did their job. Now the Pioneer offense needs to convert and open this back up to a 2-score football game. Wells, inside handoff, Colin St. Julian. He drives his way forward, spun down after a gain of 3 or 4. St. Julian, after a gain of about 3, will bring up 2nd and 7. Second down and 7 here. Wells had to re-clutch on the football, looking for Devonair Clarington, but the ball thrown out of bounds and incomplete. So 3rd down and 7 here. Into the game will come Jalen Davis. And St. Julian will come out. Third down and 7 here. Third and 7 here. Wells, twins each side in a stack formation. Blitz shown again. Wells rolling away from it, rolling to his left, in trouble, and sacked again. And Wells keeps giving up ground. He keeps rolling back to make a bigger play and keeps giving up ground when he does so. Ball all the way back to the 26-yard line. From the 43 all the way back to the 27, the loss is about 16. And the Pioneers will force a turnover, but then be forced to punt. Sack brought to you by the folks at Azure Electronics. Beaver Falls, never get into a cold car again in the winter or a warm car in the summer. Maintain your control and start your car from up to 3 miles away with an auto start from CompuStar and Azure Electronics. The ball will roll dead just shy of the 40-yard line. They're going to spot it right on the 40, 1st and 10 there for Minnesota West. So Minnesota West will have the ball for the second possession of the half, still down 20 to 14. As the Pioneers couldn't make anything happen off the turnover. Giving up yet another sack of the quarterback. 1st and 10, Minnesota West at their own 40. Cromer will bring his team out again. Single back in the backfield, Khalid Desmond. They ride the ball into Desmond. He'll have the football and be tackled on the play. 2 Pioneers met right at the handoff. McCaddy, one of those on the tackle for the Pioneers. And a loss of 1. 2nd down and 11 here. Gus Dave also on the tackle, the nose guard. He has a fumble recovery this afternoon, or an interception technically. Cromer on the 2nd down play here. Deep man behind him, Khalid Desmond again. He wants to throw, pumps. Looking down the football field, there's a man open in the middle of the football field. They hit him right in the helmet. Didn't get his hands up on the play. Blaze Williams dropped it, hit him right in the teeth. The incompletion will bring up 3rd down. Supposed to catch it with your hands, not your face mask. Get him right smack in the face mask and bounded away. 3rd down and 11, almost 12. Twins to the right, hand to the left, split formation. Pistol backfield, Cromer with Khalid Desmond behind him. Cromer going to swing the back out of the backfield, looking to throw it across the middle. Almost picked it off again. He threw that ball right into the hands of David Borges, but he couldn't hang on to it. Incomplete. And it'll bring up a punting situation. 4th down and 11, almost 12, in a punting situation here. Pioneers will drift back 1 to return. Now they'll drift back a second man. Justin Murray back here, and so is Colin St. Julian. Awaiting the punt here. Wilkinson, line drive, kick. He'll hit and be picked up by the Pioneers. Gutsy play there on the return by Justin Murray before being driven out of bounds. Murray will cross the 30 to the 31 yard line. Northland will be first and 10. First and 10, Pioneers at the 31, 12 and a half minutes to play here in the third. Nobody has scored. In fact, nobody's moved the football yet. Pioneers will come out offensively. Wells out of that pistol again. Single setback behind him is St. Julian. Wide to both sides in a twin formation. St. Julian waits the snap, gets it. Turns, hands off here. Wells gives to St. Julian, who squirts ahead for short yardage, and that's all. St. Julian for 2, maybe 3. They're going to call it 3 and third down and 7. And call it 2 and second and 8. Second and 8 here, Wells. Fakes to St. Julian, looks across the middle, wide open down there, Clarington. Clarington will running room. Clarington cutting to the outside. Clarington breaks the tackle. He's to the 30-yard line. Clarington rolled down there inside the 30-yard line. All the way to the 28-yard line for Devonier Clarington. From the 33, 17 to midfield. And 22 on the other side of that, 39 on the catch. Wells looking it over here as the Pioneers change the play. 264 yards and completions now, first down of the second half of the Pioneers. Hand off here, first back right up the gut. Hard running him down to about the 20-yard line that time. Jalen Davis. Davis will take it to the 20. He'll pick up 8. Second down and 2 here for Northland. Third play of the possession. Fourth play of the possession. Second and 2. Hand off Davis again. He scores over the left side. His bulldog down. The ball came out, but I think he was down by contact down to 15. The game's 5 more. He's got 11 yards now. 20th first down for the Pioneers. First and 10 at the 15-yard line. Wells with Davis behind him.
What?
First and 10 for the Pioneers. And the Blue Jays 15.
Pioneers knocking on the door, trying to make it a 2-score game. They lead it 20-14 on our Pizza Hut scoreboard. Wells rolling to his right. Looking down the football field here. Clock, touchdown. Nice reach out and grab that time. Two-handed catch by Khalil Grant. Grant, number 15, from 15 yards out, his second 15-yard touchdown catch. He's got 76 yards and 2 scores now in the ball game. For Wells, his third touchdown pass for 281 yards.
It's not coming in, it's not like
The Pioneers score here.
stopping.
And they'll
No,
go
it doesn't
40
matter,
conversion,
as long as it's
pull
on
off
this.
backfield out of the gun.
But is this ever cutting out at all?
Yeah, when it says no input
And
signal,
now we have a
press
whistle
that
to
button
stop
so
it
it can
here
turn
and a
back on.
timeout.
Okay, and that's fine.
No,
We can
legal
just keep
procedure
continuing
on
to
the
do it that way.
Pioneers.
Otherwise, I'd have to take some space off
The
here,
Pioneers
which,
call for their 11th
because
penalty
we have a
ball
football
for
game, we have a
100
couple
yards,
basketball
out of the center
scrimmages
back
on
five.
there, it's a volleyball game, so that's why it's full.
Grant on the
Okay.
15-yard pass.
Yep, just as long as we have it on here.
Okay.
Quick drive for the Pioneers. 5 plays to go, 69 yards.
Ready.
Thanks.
Here in the third quarter. They'll mark off the 5. It's a long 2-point conversion attempt now for Wells and Company. Pioneers will put trips to the right. Send a motion man to the left. Now Wells tucks it away. He's going to run with it. He's got running into the corner. Wells trying to tuck it away in the end zone. Does with the 2-point conversion. And we have a flag down in the end zone as well. Let's see what that's for. There's a flag in the end zone, let's see. The defensive holding on the pass play, I think it might be. Just by the way Minnesota West was complaining, let's see what the argument is about. Right now, Wells has converted the 2-point conversion, let's see what the officials say. 10:23 left to play here in the third. It is
What?
defensive holding.
Let me see.
Defensive holding.
Oh.
Pioneers will decline it and take the 2-point conversion. So the Pioneers will add on 8 here. And Northland now leads it by a margin of 28-14. Back in a moment on 12:30 PTRF. Huron and Colson to receive deep, but the ball hasn't gotten there all day for the Pioneers on the kickoff. Northland has scored here to take a 2-touchdown lead in this ballgame, leading at 28-14 again. Second time they've been up 14 points. First time was it 14-0. Luch kick here, popped up in the air. It will hit and dive. Be picked up by one of the up men, who breaks the tackle and then steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That again, Ethan Lindley. Minnesota West, third possession here at the 39-yard line, or at the 35-yard line, excuse me. First and 10, Minnesota West at their own 35.
What?
Now trailing at 28-14. And Cromer will bring his team out. Cromer, the 6'2", 253-pound quarterback out of Detroit. That's a big guy. Pioneers showing blitz. Cromer wants to throw. Swings it out of the backfield here for the running back. Incomplete. Let him too much. Incomplete. Will bring up second down and 10. Intended for Desmond out of the backfield. Down to 10-13 to play here in the third. Northland has retaken a 2-touchdown lead. Second down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Murray looking for the swing pass again, now pulls it down. Pump fakes, now throws a pitch. Outside here for Desmond, who breaks a couple of tackles and is spun around on a play. But a nice second down gain to bring up third and short. He'll pick up 5 on the play. He's got a dozen yards now in 4 carries. And third down and 5. Third and 5 play here for Minnesota West. Twins each side of the field. Cromer out of the pistol again. Single man behind him is Cleve Desmond. Cromer across the middle. Ball is tipped and incomplete. Intended for Linder. And the incompletion will bring up fourth down. Fourth down play here, and we expect to see the punter, Trayvon Wilkinson. Fourth down and 5 here, the ball at the Blue Jay 40-yard line. And drifting back is Wilkinson. St. Julian back to return for the Pioneers. Long count here. Now the gunner will start a motion snap. Is high, pulled down. High, short kick. Pioneers are screaming, get away, get away. And the ball will bounce and roll down inside the 25-yard line to the 24, maybe
What?
even the 23.
So who's winning?
Northland will
winning.
start first
We
and
are.
10 from there.
28.
With 9
28
minutes
to
and 22
14.
seconds left in the third quarter. And Northland up 28-14 on our Pizza Hut scoreboard. Hey, by the way, if you didn't know,
What?
Pizza Hut now has great features for you in the taste treat department, in the sweet treat department. And you can get Cinnabon now at Pizza Hut in Beaver Falls. They're going to call it the Northland 24, 1st and 10 from there. Pioneers, Wells, straight hand on here. Trying to follow his blocking over the right-hand side. Dive play for Jalen Davis. Davis on the carry will pick up 2 or 3, and we have a Minnesota West player slow getting up.
You know, the stop on Minnesota West was number 54,
Aubrey Henderson on the stop, and he's the man down on the field. Injury timeout here for Minnesota West. Pioneers leading it by a 28-14 margin. Back in a moment. Timeout by Earls.
Again, we'd like to thank some of our Northern Community Technical College corporate sponsors. They also include State Farm Insurance, Pepsi, Sanford Health, Rehab Authority, and Quality Inn, Sundance County. The name for the Pioneers, 26.
Second aid for the Pioneers. Wells puts trips to the left-hand side, steps up in the pocket here. But to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit more before being taken down in a play. Good play that time out of the middle of the defense by Zachary Peerless.
Huh?
8.5 minutes to play in the third. And Wells now with negative 29 yards and 14 carries down in the sacks. And it's 3rd down and 8. St. Julian now in the backfield, flanking Wells on the left-hand side. Trips to the left again.
Hey.
They take to St. Julian, they run the comeback pass here. It's complete to Grant. Grant stiff arms the man, breaks the tackle, goes down the sidelines, and we'll have 1st down yardage. From the 26-yard line. He'll get to the 36 and pick up 10. Another 1st down. The Pioneers are 23rd in the ballgame. 86 yards down receptions for Grant. Pioneers run a drop play straight up the gut. Big gain for Colin St. Julian. St. Julian sports ahead for 10 more and a 1st down. St. Julian now with 44 yards in the game. Pioneers at their own 46. St. Julian, he lost the football, turned it over, hit him in the belly and bounced away, and the ball right into the hands of a Minnesota West player. Pioneers were moving the football, and there's that bugaboo again. They can't hang on to it. 3rd fumble of the ball game for the Pioneers, and their 9th lost fumble in the last 2 games. Just didn't get his hands cleanly wrapped around it, and it squirts away. The turnover gives the ball to Minnesota West in Pioneer territory at the Northland 45-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Pioneer 45. Again, it's Comer back out. Cromer with a single back, flanking him on the right, looks to throw, pumps to the back, now looks across the middle, incomplete, thrown low. He intended there for Blaze Williams. That's 5 straight incompletions for Cromer. That's a completion and fumble to Linder.
Wow.
Clock down to 7:23 left to play in the third. Northland up 28-14. Second and 10 here. Trips to the left-hand side, single receiver and an injured to the
What?
right.
3D mouthwash.
Okay.
Cromer to throw. Now steps up into the pocket under pressure, hit. And gets back in the line of scrimmage, and that's all before being taken down. Among those on the tackle for the Northland Pioneers was Quante Pearson.
Tackle for the Pioneers, number 52, Quante Pearson.
No gain on the play.
44 from our Quintus.
4 yards for Cromer and 4
Huh?
carries.
No gain on
Did I what?
Third down
Did I
play
get
coming here.
gum? Yeah, I did.
Third down and 10.
Like mint gum or the nasty gum?
Single back in the backfield. Khalid Desmond
Mint?
wins to each side this
What's
time.
nasty to you?
Cromer to throw, has time in the pocket, slings it across the middle. Williams trying for a one-arm catch, dropped it, and then was drilled on the play by one of the Pioneer defenders. It's incomplete again. And fourth down in another punting situation. Tender receiver Williams just got clocked by one of the Pioneers and he tried to pull it in. Fourth down and 10 play
What?
here.
Oh, I'm working.
Pioneers will send 2 back to receive the Wilkinson punt. Wilkinson high floating kick. This will hit and take a Minnesota West bounce down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line where it's picked up. Little jawing going on again between players on both teams. As the Pioneers will have it first and 10 at their own 9-yard line. And a punt. Third consecutive punt for Minnesota West here in a quarter. Northland will start first and 10 at their own 9-yard line. Pioneers lead it 28-14.
First and 10 for the Pioneers from their own 9.
Fumbled on their last possession after moving the football. Wells gonna throw from his own end zone. Looking across the middle here, incomplete. Intended for Clarington, who did a good job of turning into a defensive play and broke it up. Good opportunity there for the pick by Henry White the fourth. Incompletion will bring up second down and 10. Second down and 10 at the 9-yard line. Twins to each side in a stack formation. Wells out of the pistol again. They come on a quarterback draw this time himself, ducks his head, puts it down, drives forward, gets across the 15, and he'll pick up a good chunk of it, but it'll be third down and short. Wells will pick up 8 on the play. Actually, they're going to give him 9. And third down and 1 here for the Pioneers at the 18. 5:40 left to play in the third. Northland leading at 28-14 on the Piton scoreboard.
I don't know yet.
Wells to throw and now wants to tuck it away. He starts forward. He's not going to get the first down marker that way. It'll be fourth down.
Have I what? No.
Wells will lose a yard
Nope.
or 2.
Tomorrow probably.
And it'll be fourth down. Lose 2 on the play. And the Pioneers will be forced to punt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pioneers forced to punt it here. Rockley to punt it free. Short spinning kick will take a bounce and take a Pioneer bounce. Finally picked up by Colson. All right, take that back. It's picked up here by Stephen Lucas Jr. Then he tries to go backwards on the play and gives up yardage trying to pick up a running play. One of the Pioneers has lost his helmet on the play as well. Ball will be marked back across the 45-yard line. At about the 46, first and 10, still in Northland territory. First and 10 at the Pioneer 46, 4:48 to play in the third. Northland leading Minnesota West by a margin of 28-14 right now. Trips to the left this time for Minnesota West. Quick out on a flanker screen here, it's complete. Up the football field, trying to turn it to the outside. That time on the gain is Montez Heron.
Are you on time? Hello?
He makes his first catch of the day. And he'll pick up 6.
Are you on time? Are you on time?
112 yards now for Cromer, who throws it again. And complete to Colson this time for the first down. Colson will take it from the 40-yard line. Down to the 33, the gain is 7. Cromer again, dancing in the pocket. Pioneers kind of spying him a little bit. He'll decide to run with it, get back maybe to the line of scrimmage. And now we have a Pioneer player down on the field. No gain for Cromer, another injury timeout. Back in a moment. Timeout by Earl's Market. Don't forget Earl's Market, great roasted chicken and more. Earl's Market in Thief River Falls.
We have a player down the field. Officials timeout.
County.
Injured Pioneer number 44, Marquez McCaddy. Second down and 10. For the Blue Jays, Anthony Northland 32.
Marquez McCaddy, the injured player. Cromer back to throw here, looking out the football field for Colson. Overthrown. Picked off by the Pioneers. No, they're going to call it incomplete and a flag down where I think you're going to see defensive holding. Unless he went out of bounds and came back in. But I believe you're going to see a defensive holding call. Which is interesting because Minnesota West has been holding the Pioneer receivers all day and only been called for it once. Now the Pioneers are saying they'll decline. But they can't decline, it is on them. Oh, illegal shift, both offsetting penalties is the call here. So we'll play it over. Offense, illegal shift on Minnesota West and defensive holding on the Pioneers, so we'll play it over. Second down and 10. Fourth play of the possession that started at the Northland 46. Ball now sits at the Northland 32. Northland leading it 28-14. Cromer wanting to throw. He'll swing it out here for the back out of the backfield. Khalid Desmond. And Desmond run out of town after run out of bounds after a short game. Desmond running out of bounds after a gain of 5. Fourth catch for Desmond for 42 yards. 124 yards of completions now for Cromer. Third down and 5 here. You gotta believe it's 4-down territory for the Blue Jays. With 3:20 left in the third, down by 2 scores, they'll send trips to the right side, a single receiver left. Colson, the inside man on the right-hand side. Desmond shifts to the right of Cromer. They fake the quick pitch, give off to Desmond. Desmond squirts ahead, but I think he's shy of the first down. Now we have a flag down on the play. An area where I would have expected holding, but we'll see. Cromer pointing at somebody and leaving the field. And let's see what we've got here. It is holding on the offense. I would think the Pioneers will take the penalty and set them back to 10 yards and make it third down over again. And they will. So Cromer, who was mouthing to somebody and left the football field, will now have to come back out after the 10-yard penalty. First penalty of the second half, 8 to the ball game on Minnesota West for a total of 75 yards. Or 85 yards now. And make it 3rd down and 15. 3rd and 15 as Cromer comes out again for the 6th play of the possession. Again, he'll send trips to the right-hand side. The inside man there is Colson. Cromer looking to throw, swings it out for Colson. One-on-one, nice open field tackle that time by Zach Powell. Powell makes a very nice open field tackle on Colson, who gained just 1 yard on the catch. He's got 24 yards now on 3 catches. 125 yards now in completions for Cromer. And it's 4th down and long. Would expect the punting situation here. But Cromer stays on the football field. Minnesota West will go. West is going to go on 4th down and long. Cromer sends trips to the right, looking down the football field, hangs one up, looking for Colson, incomplete. He was bracketed on the play by a defensive back and a linebacker. And the incompletion will give it over to the Pioneers on downs. So Northland will take over on downs at their own 37-yard line. 1st and 10 Pioneers at their own 37, and they'll come out and go right to the line of scrimmage in a hurry up.
Where?
That
1:41 left to play in the 3rd. Northland leading at 28-14.
we got done at WSU. It was like
Wells flanked on either side. Minnesota West showing blitz again.
We got.
market.
Oh yeah.
We should go there again.
You want to go there again?
Yeah.
Okay, we will.
Wells taking his time. High snap, gives off here. Hand off over the right hand side. That's Jalen Davis, and Davis with a nice game. Davis squirts ahead across the 40. And out to about the 43. He'll pick up about a half a dozen. He's got 19 yards now in the ballgame on 5 carries, and it's 2nd down here. Single back in the backfield again is Davis. He'll get the football straight ahead, avoids the first man, spins away from the second, and gets maybe a yard.
Are you still getting Starbucks?
3rd down coming here. Third down play coming for the Pioneers. Trying to keep the drive alive. 3rd and 3 here from the 44. Wells with trips to the left, single receiver right hand side. Take the inside handoff, swing out pass here. Complete, but for no yardage. Complete the lead for no yardage. 291 yards still in the game for Wells on a 4th down play coming. No movement yet by the Pioneer offense. Looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field here. Clock will wind down to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Will not get a snap. We go to the 4th and final stanza of this Minnesota College Athletic Conference playoff game between the Northland Pioneers and Minnesota West, with Northland leading 28-14 heading to the 4th quarter when we come back on 12:30 KTRI.
You there?
Reminder that the winner of this game would advance to the MCAC region the 13th semifinals. The teams will then cross brackets against the teams in the Eastern Division. This is the 4th quarter. 4th and 5 for the Pioneers, their own 43. Back to you, Bud.
Is it hot there?
Yeah, I do. Which one? The red one?
Well, the Pioneers, after letting the third quarter run out, will punt. Rockley gets off a spinning kick that will trickle its way all the way down to the Blue Jay 21 or 22 yard line. First time in the last 3 possessions that Minnesota West has started in their own territory. First and 10, Minnesota West. They're going to call up at 22. 14:50 remains in regulation. Northland up 28-14 right now. Minnesota West will send both Linder and Colson out wide to the left-hand side. Those are their 2 top receivers. The other 2 to the right-hand side, single back. Cromer, play action pass, wants to throw the football across the middle. It's complete. Caught on the outside there by Tyrion Bumpus. Bumpus on the catch. Good enough for the first down. First down number 9 for Minnesota West, and their second of the second half. 135 yards and completions now for Cromer. Is going to throw again. Cromer again across the middle and again complete.
Huh?
For a short gain. Again to Bumpus.
Bye-bye.
Back-to-back catches for Bumpus. Unit 5 on the play. Second and 5 here. We have timeout Northland. Northland needs a timeout with 14 minutes left in the game. It's the Earl's Market timeout. Corner of 8th and Main, Thief River Falls. 24-hour pump. Pay at the pump, gas, and more from Earl's Market. They are your outdoor headquarters. Back in a moment.
Also would like to remind you of upcoming activities and Northland Community Particular Calendar. The Northland Volleyball Team will play in Raider at Central Lakes College for the MCAC Region 13 League playoffs coming up this Friday and Saturday. Times for the matches are yet to be.
Out of the Earl's Market timeout. Cromer will send Twins to each side of the field. Cromer looking to throw the football down the middle here. It's complete. Caught for a big first down. A Bumpus on the catch again. He's caught 3 in a row. He takes this one from his own 37 to the Pioneer 36, 27 yards. He's got 42 yards and Cromer throws again. This is tipped. Free ball. Popped up in the air. Picked up by the Pioneers. Northland with their 4th interception. This one might be a pick 6. Pioneers down the sidelines. Headed to the end zone. Justin Murray. Touchdown. 65-yard touchdown return for Murray. 6th play of the possession. An interception and a touchdown. So the 5th turnover of the ballgame, the 4th interception of the ballgame. Thrown by Minnesota West. And the Pioneers turn it into a pick 6. As Murray returns it 65 yards for the score. Here early in the 4th quarter of play. Rockley to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So Rockley converts the extra point off the interception return. Pioneers tack on 7 more and now lead it 35-14. Pioneers for the first time today up 3 scores on 12:30 KTRS. Big interception return on a tip ball by Justin Murray. Pioneers convert the extra point and open this thing up to 3 scores now at 35-14 in the fourth quarter of play. Jones's kick sails down. Colson will take it to the 23, to 25, 30, 35 yard line. Spun around there and taken down shy of the 40. First and 10 for Minnesota West. At their own 38 or 39, they're going to call it the 39.
47.
First and 10 for Minnesota West.
Why did he say we were going to be here from 12 to 6?
Pioneers make a couple of defensive adjustments here.
Huh? He said he was going to be here. We were going to be here from 12 to 6 in Philly.
Had too many men on the field, I think. Flag down on the play. Cromer tried to take it himself and will be taken down for a loss, but it's not going to matter. I believe the Pioneers have too many men. Well, now the official's waving it off.
Where's that place at anyways, or whatever they call it, Haunted Woods?
I guess it's in like Red Lake Falls.
So it will be no gain on a play for Cromer.
God, I keep forgetting about that though.
4 yards now on 6 carries. It's second and 10. Geese flying over the field looking for a place to land. They do know they're supposed to go south when it gets cold, right? Second and 10 here, Cromer. With Khalid Desmond alongside of him. Trips to the left-hand side, got to run the quick out there. Complete big block by Colson. To spring the man open for a gain in the play, and then the Pioneers will take him down, pop out the football. Murin recovers it. Huron will make the catch for a gain of 8. He's got 17 yards on the day now. Cromer has 143 yards in completions. And a third down and 2 play here. Third and 2 for Minnesota West. The ball at their own 47-yard line. Cromer going to throw the football, looking over the top again, incomplete.
Just a little over the
And the
top.
defender and receiver ran into each other. Heron wanted the interference call, but it was very much incidental contact and incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down. Cromer and Minnesota West staying on a football field here. 4th down and 2.
For Minnesota West. From their own 47-yard line.
Cromer will send Twins to each side this time on 4th and 2. Wants to hang the ball up down the middle, now tries to tuck it away. Flips it across the inside, complete. And complete into the hands again of Montez here. And first down as he'll take the ball from the 47-yard line down to the Pioneer 43. 10 yards on the game.
First and 10 for Minnesota West. And the Northland 43.
And going to throw it again. Incomplete this time, intended for the back out of the backfield. Cromer's put the ball up now since coming in relief of Tinklenberg. A total of 30 times. It's been 37 passes by the offense of Minnesota West, who trails at 35-14. 4th or 5th play of the possession here for Minnesota West. 2nd and 10 in Pioneer territory at the 44. 43, excuse me. Cromer out of the gun again, under pressure, hit as he lets it go, and it's incomplete. Scooped up from the backside that time by Hunter Roller, and Cromer getting up slow. Roller spun him around as he let it go. It falls incomplete. And Cromer down and getting up slowly. Dinklenberg already has come out of the game offensively at quarterback. And now Cromer is down. Wasn't a cheap shot by Roller. He got him out of the waist and spun him around, but Cromer reaching for a knee. Injury time out on the field here. Timeout by Earls Market. Corner of 8th and Main. People Falls. Back in a moment. landed on that knee when Roller grabbed him on that hip and spun him. I think he twisted his knee. He was trying to step forward into play and Roller got him around the hips and turned him.
Just a little bit.
You guys know Hunter at all? Really, really good kid. He's from Warren. He wrestled here in Thief River Falls. He went to nationals last year as a wrestler after playing football.
Nice.
So, pretty good athlete.
Besides this game this afternoon, 3 other games going on in the MCAC playoffs. Dakota College of Monroe has had the North Dakota School of Science on the line to head Central Lakes College. And Casca is at Wasabi.
Well, Frank Cromer being assisted off the field, gingerly walking on that knee. He had his hips planted and knees planted, trying to step forward into a pass. When Roller got him around the hips and spun him around, I think he just twisted that knee. But he'd have to leave for at least a play. This will be the third quarterback of the game now for Minnesota West. This will not bring Tinklenberg back in either. Looks like it's Wilkinson the punter. Third down and 10 here. Twins to each side. It is Wilkinson the punter. He'll swing it out here from the backfield for Khalid Desmond. Desmond trying to walk his way down the sidelines. We'll pick up about half of it.
Wilkinson's pass is complete on the far side of the field.
Wilkinson will get it to Khalid Desmond for a gain of about 5 more.
It will be a pickup of 5 yards. It'll be 4th down and 5.
4th down and 5 coming here.
For Minnesota West.
Drive started the Minnesota West 39. Wilkinson again. Going to keep it himself, trying to run with it. Stacked up McCaddy among those in there for the Pioneers. Also off the bottom of the pile for Northland. Clapping his hands comes Quante Person. The ball goes over on downs to Northland. After a loss of 2.
And the
Pioneer football, 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
will take over 1st and 10. At their own 41.
Actually, they're going to officially call it the 41. 1st and 10, Pioneers at the 41, leading at 35-21 here in the 4th quarter. Pioneers trying to advance to next Sunday. Handoff here, trying to slash his way over the left-hand side. This time, Jalen Davis. Davis will get to the 45, give him 4. Davis with a gain of 4, now has 24 yards in the game. 2nd down play here.
Pick up a 3 yards on the rebel, bring up 2nd down and 7.
2nd down for the Pioneers.
45.
Wells out of the gun, same position he's been in with every snap but 1 today. Wells holds it, wants to throw, looking down the football field. Has his man, and overthrows him by a half step, incomplete, looking for Dwayne Taylor. Had Taylor, but just drew a little too much air under it. It's incomplete. And 3rd down coming. Taylor had beaten his man in a straight go pattern down the sidelines, but just slightly overthrown and incomplete. 3rd and 7 here. Taylor and Clarington both to the right-hand side, Twins to the left as well. Single setback in the backfield this time. You've seen Julian look like movement on the defensive front. Pioneers had snapped the football. They might have gotten offside, but instead they checked out and called another play. 3rd down and 7 here. On a pitch, here comes Colin St. Julian. St. Julian gets to the corner, two men wipe themselves out for Minnesota West, but St. Julian will give up the football here, it rolls down the sideline, and a fumble. Ball just tightrope the sideline for the fourth turnover of the ball game on the Pioneers. Minnesota West football in great field position in Pioneer territory. Anderson on the recovery. Out at the 42, 43 yard line. They're calling the 43. First and 10 for the Blue Jays, the Northland 43. Pioneers late getting them out on the field defensively. First and 10 here, it'll stay Wilkinson at quarterback. No, another change at quarterback now. This is Person. He's going to roll the outside. Fourth quarterback of the game. He pump fakes twice, pump fakes the third time. Spins and finally taken down and sacked on a play. Huron. Sacked on the play. He'll lose back to the midfield stripe. Actually to the 49 yard line. From the 43 to the 39, the loss is 8. Sack brought to you by the folks at Azure Electronics. Never get into a cold car or a warm car or a hot car again. Keep your car temperature controlled with the help of CompuStar and Azure Electronics. You're on again, or rather, complete across the middle, caught, spun around, and finally taken down on a play. Ethan Lindley with a nice gain from the 49 yard line. All the way down to the Pioneer 25, 26. And first down. First and 10 at the Pioneer 25. Gonna throw it again, short but caught by Linder rather. He'll take the ball down to about the 16 to pick up 9 more. He's 2 for 2 for 35 yards in the game. Now wants to throw again, looking down a football field here. Incomplete. Wanted Colson, but incomplete. Fourth play of the possession. Fourth quarterback of the game for Minnesota West. As now Montrez Huron at quarterback. Third down and 2 here after the incompletion. Huron single back in the backfield. Going to throw the football down the football field here. Picked off again by the Pioneers. Northland with another interception. They'll start it back up the football field. Be taken down near the 20 yard line. Intercepted this time by Dylan Lee. No. Think that's Mike Collins. 5th interception of the ball game for the Pioneers. And Northland will start first and 10 at their own 20 yard line. First and 10 Pioneers at their own 20, still 8:49 left in this one. Northland leading at 35-14. First and 10 Pioneers at the 20. Hand off here, trying to sweep the left-hand side. The Pioneers are going to get stacked up for little or no gain. Tyrell Harris. Back to lose yardage on the play. Running game has been anemic at best today for the Pioneers. As they'll lose 3, maybe 4. And a stoppage here, another injured man down for Minnesota West. Minnesota West, another man down and getting up slowly. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Northland up 35-14 in the fourth quarter on 1230 KTRF. Now the guy who started the ball game 6 is trying to get loose on the sidelines again. He left hurt in the first quarter.
As we review this play, will be second down and 14 for Northland from their own 17.
Second down and 14 for the Pioneers. They try and hit the man coming across the middle. Intended there for Khalil Grant, and a flag down in the play. I think you're going to get defensive holding here. Oh, they're going to call it pass interference.
Pass interference has been called.
Second penalty of the second half on Minnesota West, and they're ninth of the ball game.
Against Minnesota West.
And they'll step off the penalty. Head referee called pass interference. The official who marked it off only marked off a holding call. 90 yards in penalties, but it is the new first down for the Pioneers. They're 25th in the ball game. First and 10 Pioneers after the penalty. Back at the 20 again. Wells option pitch. Trying to get to the outside here. Harris puts his hand down. Minnesota West trying to strip the football. Harris will get about 3. Pioneers trying to chew up some clock here. With 8 minutes left to play and up 3 scores, but they need some first downs. Second down.
Yeah, it sucks. I went back over there. It was just like, it was bad. And then now I'm still.
Second down play here. Wells out of the gun again. Flanked on his right hand side one more time. Deuce receivers to each side. Now the Pioneers will change the play again. Wells, long count now. Can't take flag, hand off and stick, leads on the outside of the quick swing pass. This to Dylan Lee, and Lee down the sidelines for a first down. Lee will take the ball to the 23-yard line. Out across the 35 to the 37. The gain is 14. He's got 95 yards and catches now. 305 yards and completions for Wells. First and 10 Pioneers. As Northland trying to seal the lead here. Trying to seal the deal here with 7 minutes left to play. Wells. And now Northland going to change it again. Now they're going to take time out. Northland has decided to take time out here. And Earl's market timeout, corner of 8th and Main, Thief River Falls. Pioneers have 1 timeout remaining. 6:50 left to play in the game. Northland leading at 35-14 on our Pizza Hut scoreboard. Back in a moment on 1230 KTRF.
Once again, the winner of this game will advance to the MCAC Regional Virtual Semifinals next week.
Can you see how much time we have?
6 minutes and 50 seconds.
Eastern Division.
Mm-hmm.
First and 10 for Northland for their own
First and 10, Northland from own 37-yard line. Wells under pressure, rolls out to his left, avoids the pressure, tucks the ball away, picks up a block down the sidelines, and rushes forward for the first down, and then a huge block thrown, and all kinds of flags for the blindside block. And now another flag. Big block and a blindside block, and they're going to call a penalty on the Pioneers. Was a huge gain, first of all, on the play by Wells, as he picked up enough for the first down. Now we'll see what they're going to mark off here. Officials still over talking to people on the sidelines for Minnesota West. A late flag down. I don't know if something happened on the sidelines as well. It might have. You might end up with offsetting penalties on the play. And our back judge talking to one of the Pioneer receivers.
You gonna say you
Personal
forgot?
foul
You should be like, I
on
fell
the
asleep.
Pioneers.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm gonna go.
Who knows? It might be actually pretty funny.
Just make fun of people.
And dead ball foul
Do you think it's
Kaylee's
scared
on
me?
Minnesota West.
Really?
She gets scared so easily.
Wait, which Kaylee?
McGregor.
So first of all, you have a personal foul on the Pioneers. Do you mark off both penalties then? Officials are still over on the Minnesota West sideline talking it over.
You go walk around the corner, she wasn't expecting it, she'd freak out. It's hilarious.
So one's an in-play penalty and one's a dead ball foul. I don't know if that
because I
counts
don't.
offsets or not, as our
don't think
officials
anyone on the
continue
team
to talk
like
it over.
And I don't have no one to hold. Because I usually had grab onto someone's arm when I'm who I go with.
So they'll
Maybe
mark
it's not
off
even that
15 on the Pioneers.
The last thing I went to like that, they were like, sometimes we have people that pretend
Then they'll
like
turn
they
around
work
and mark
here
it
and
off
they
the other
don't.
way.
So like if somebody touches you, they don't work.
And I think it's a
And the
first
guy
down.
with the chainsaw touched me. I football tackled my friend into the corn maze. I was like, no, bye.
And it is a first down Pioneers. So penalties on each team for 15 yards.
'Cause I went to a haunted attraction while I was.
115 on Northland.
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
And 105 now on Minnesota West.
After the mark on the penalty,
And the ball at the 43-yard line and first down Pioneers.
I saw Lisa and what's the
Actually, they're going to call it the 44.
Oh, I forgot his name. Where?
at Walmart.
First and 10 at the 44.
Yeah. I think they said
Pioneers
they
leading at 35-14 here, 6:20 left to play.
Are they going?
Yeah, I think so.
Blitz shown again by both linebackers for Minnesota West. Pioneers check out of it. Blitz still coming. Ball started at the 20. It's Pioneers' 8th play since they got the ball back at the 20-yard line. With 5 minutes left to play, fourth down and about 8. Wells out of the gun again. Low snap. Wells scoops up with one hand. Rolling to his right, grabs, spun around, and thrown down. On a defensive sack, hanging on by the jersey with Henry White the fourth. The sack brought to you by the folks at Azure Electronics in Beaver Falls. Azure Electronics will help keep your car warm in the wintertime and cool in the summertime with a CompuStar Auto Start from Azure Electronics. The ball all the way back from the 41-yard line, or excuse me,
There's a lot of 15 yards.
the ball all the way back from the 47-yard line. The loss is 15.
Bring up fourth down. 28.
4th and 28.
29.
42 yards in the sacks today on the 18th rush by Wells. Counting the sack, the Pioneers will punt it free. Got a good roll the last time. They'll get a good roll this time as Colson backs away from it. And a roll all the way down to the 31. Minnesota West, 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. Pioneers lead it by a 35-14 margin with less than 4 minutes to play. And the light's coming on here at Lowell Swenson Field. Later tonight, Viking football for you against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football. 1st and 10 at the 30.
Minnesota West at their own 30.
For Minnesota West. Roll it. Huron wants to throw. Spins away from a couple of pieces of traffic. Now ducks it away and going to run with it. He'll have first down yardage and more before being taken down on the play. There is a flag down on the sidelines again. Holding on the defense. My guess is that would be declined because he picked up 13 yards on the game. First down number 12 in the 5th of the second half for Minnesota West. First and 10 in Pioneer territory at the 47. Looking to throw the football across the middle, high for Colson, but he goes up and gets it. Nice catch. Now runs away from one tackle, puts his head down on another, and will take the ball inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Another first down. 13 more and another first down. Colson with his 4th catch of the day for 37 yards. 48 yards down completions for Huron. 4th play of the possession here. He wants to throw again. Stand in the pocket. Looks. Now tucks it away. Wants to run with the football. Grabbed and taken down. But close to another first down. We're going to give him 9 more. 2:45 and counting left to play. Minnesota West quickly to the line of scrimmage. Pioneers trying to hurry to get men off the football field. Single back in the backfield. Huron stands in again. Looking across the middle here. Caught. Nice. Oh no. Through the hands of the intended receiver and incomplete. Looking for Tinklenberg. Incomplete. So Tinklenberg evidently too injured to play quarterback early in the game. Now back in a wide receiver. 3rd down and about 2 here, 2.5 minutes to play. Barring some kind of an unbelievable collapse, the Pioneers are going to advance. They lead at 35-14. Trips to the right, single receiver left. Huron looks to throw again. Rolling to his left now. He'll tuck it away, being spied. Hesitation move, now comes down the sidelines and steps out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 1st and goal. 1st and 10, excuse me. He'll take the ball for a gain of a dozen. He's got 26 yards down the game. 7th, 8th play of this drive that started at Minnesota West 30. Looking to throw again, rolls to his right. Flips the ball out of the backfield here for Khalid Desmond. Desmond breaks the tackle, dives forward, gets 8 or 9. Desmond with his 6th catch. They're going to give him a half dozen. 54 yards now for Huron completions. 9th play of the possession here. Wants to throw again. Right-hander rolling out, now spins back to his right. Takes up a block, sets his feet, dumps it off, incomplete. The incompletion will bring up
This is number 6, Caleb Dicklenberg.
third down. 10th play of the possession that started at the Minnesota West 30.
Third down and 4.
Third down and about 4 here for the Blue Jays. Clock stopped with a minute and a half remaining to play. Northland leading at 35-14. Looking to throw again. Caught. Down inside to 5.
Draw pass is complete. Making a reception.
The catch pulled down by Gary Smith the third.
Number 8, Gary Smith the third. Pick up on 3 yards, bring a 4th down and 1.
Gain of 3 is all 4th and 1. It is not a first down play. 4th down player. Here he is rolling out to his right, trying to duck toward the end zone. Gets in, touchdown. 6 yards on the touchdown run.
Yeah, Blue Jays!
First score of the second half comes here with 53 seconds left. Six yards on the run. Dicklenberg will attempt the extra point. 11 plays, 70 yards. Dicklenberg's extra point, up, and good. So Dicklenberg bangs it through. And Minnesota West adds 7. 35-21, Pioneers onside kick coming when we come back on 1230 KTRF.
Kicking the ball away for Minnesota West, number 6.
I think froze. I don't know how to fix it.
Really?
Yeah, that's the very end of the game.
Dicklenberg will kick it away again as Minnesota West tallies late to make it 35-21. Expected onside kick. He dribbles another one along around. This takes a big high hop. Pioneer short hop but miss it. I think Minnesota West for the second time today has successfully Minnesota West will get the football back. First time he kicked it right at a Pioneer. This time it hopped over. And the second guy tried to short hop it and squirted between his legs. Minnesota West will recover at the Pioneer 45. Minnesota West has 51 seconds left and is down 14 points. It would still take a miracle to get this done unless they score on this play. Blue Jays first and 10 at the Pioneer 45-yard line. But the specialty teams have not been kind again today to the Pioneers. Aaron wants to throw the football. Steps up in the pocket, now steps back again, continuing to dance and fade. Looking down the football field here, throws it. Caught, nice catch. Sliding catch by Dicklenberg inside the 20, at about the 17. He'll pick up 28 on a catch. His first of the ball game.
First and 10. 4 minutes to the West,
85 yards for Herion. And first and 10. Second play here. Complete to Colson. Colson breaks a couple of tackles, spins, driving toward the end zone. Finally trying to keep him out. Finally the whistle will blow. As Colson and the officials asking for the clock to stop, he did not right away. Colson taking the ball from the 18. Down to the 2, should be first and goal.
Colson finally taken it out.
He's got 53 yards now. Arians is coming to the game, has 104 yards passing.
Big bucket on the 2-yard line.
And timeout taken here as well. Minnesota West wants to talk it over. Just seconds left in this game, about 23, back in a moment on 12:30 PTR up. Pioneers up by a 35-21 margin.
Line out here for a second half.
We're gonna put time back in the clock.
First and goal from the 2.
Our officials have had a chat here during the timeout. I think you're gonna see some time put back on the clock. 26 seconds they want on the clock. Doing 26 seconds back on the clock. First and goal at the 2 for Minnesota West. They trail at 35-21. If they get in, you know another onside kick is coming. Hurrying across the middle, incomplete. One at Tinklenberg and a flag down and a play.
Landing flag on the end zone.
Pass interference on the Pioneers. That'll make it first and goal at the 1, but the clock did run down to 23 seconds left.
Pass interference. First and goal.
First and goal again from the 1-yard line. Here ain't gonna run for it, rolls to his left, throws it up for grabs. Colson catches and touchdown from 1 yard out. Colson catches them all with a 1-yard pass. And now Hurion's down on the blank. 4 plays or 5 plays rather than go 45 yards for the score. As Colson makes the catch on the 1-yard pass. They have numbers to add up all over the place here. For the second time in about 40 seconds, Minnesota West in the end zone at 53 seconds, then again at 17. And now they'll attend to another injured player on the field. They play everybody at quarterback you can think of. They started with Tinklenberg, who's still in the game as a receiver now. He got knocked out, spun around, and knocked out on a play where he fumbled the ball, picked back up by Minnesota West lineman. Then he has not played quarterback since, although he's continued to kick and successfully converted 2 onside kicks. And now playing receiver. Now he may have to go back into the game here again. Then it was Frank Cromer. Cromer ended up getting spun around on a sack play by the Pioneers, and Hunter Roller had to leave the game. Then to complete that series, into the game at quarterback would come Trayvon Wilkinson. Wilkerson throwing an interception ended up being a pick 6. And then on the next sets of possessions, it would be Hurian, and now he's being helped off the field with a leg injury on his left leg. Tinklenberg here to attempt the extra point and try and make this a 35-28 ball game. So Colson with the catch for the touchdown. There are 17 seconds left, and you know another onside kick is coming. They've already successfully converted 2 today. High snap, gets it down, boots it up, and it is good. 35-28, Pioneers lead down to 7 with 17 seconds left to play on 12:30 PTRF. Well, can they successfully pull off 3 onside kicks in the same game? Well, the sad part is you knew the first 2 were coming too.
Number 6, Caleb Dinkley. Will kick the ball away from Minnesota West.
Caleb Dinklenberg tees it up, and you know his third onside kick attempt of the game is coming. Only 15, 16 seconds left, and Minnesota West trailing it 35-28 after the Pioneers look like they had the deal sealed here. Here's another one. This one to the left-hand side. It bounced around. If it hit a Pioneer, it's Minnesota West football. They picked it up. Let's see what the officials say. It is 3 in a row. 3 different onside kicks, all successful by Minnesota West here today. And they'll have the football again. This time in West territory at the 46-yard line.
How much time?
Ball at the 46-yard line, bounding around.
They'd be tied if they got a touchdown. And then the extra point.
And they're going to put time back on the clock again. I think they went 15 seconds. They went 15 seconds on the clock, I believe.
First and 10 for Minnesota West.
There we go, 15 seconds for Minnesota West, first and 10. 3 successful onside kicks this afternoon. And now Tinklenberg, who started the game at quarterback, is back at quarterback again. Now the clock ran the other direction. An onside kick on a line drive right at a guy, a dribbler that short hopped and went through the legs, then this time he went to the left and made it work. Pretty good day by Tinklenberg, who's back in quarterback now for the second time in the game. He steps up, going to tuck the football away. They don't need to run with it. He needs to get out of bounds and will after first down yardage with 8 seconds left. Tinklenberg will take it from his own 46-yard line inside the Pioneer 40 and down to the 36. He'll pick up 14, 18 on the play. And another first down. Tinklenberg with now just 6 seconds left. Back to throw it again. Looking down the football field, tons of hand fighting going on. Out of bounds, incomplete. 1.6 seconds left. The incompletion will bring up second down, but it doesn't matter. It'll be the final play of the game. Each team has a timeout left. I'm surprised Minnesota West didn't take theirs here to try and get organized. The ball sits at the Pioneer 36. Minnesota West needs a touchdown and a conversion to send it to overtime. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to win the game after trailing it 35-14.
Keep through the handshake.
Receivers to each side once again. Here's the snap. Tinklenberg pumps. Now under pressure, the horn is going off, and he'll be sacked to end the ball game. Pioneers will get to him. John Pickett will sack at the end of the contest. All the way back at the 46-yard line. A loss is 10 to end the ball game. Pickett with the sack, and the Pioneers will hold on for a 35-28 victory. Post-game coverage coming up as the Pioneers advance to the next round next Sunday on 1230 KTRF.
Northland Pioneers will be back here next Sunday in the semifinals. Then good time here at Chesterfield will be at 1:30.
Is it final? I didn't tell him to do that. Just doing his whole thing.
Right there at Rose Colton Field. Then the opening kickoff will be at 1:30. The final score here
Okay,
this
well,
afternoon.
that's
Northland Pioneers 35. And the Minnesota West Blue Jays 28. Northland thanks you for attending. Drive on carefully. And have a great weekend.
That's impressive.
You win.
Yep.